This video is for changing the knife spindle on a Utica 15-inch knife heavy-duty strip cutter, as well as the bearings. Tools required are gloves, 2.5-inch wrenches, screwdriver, needle nose pliers, Allen wrench, hammer, 3/4-inch shaft, and a soft hammer, as well as a 15/16 wrench. First, you'll remove the cover that covers the end of the knife spindle. There are 2 slotted screws which will expose the end of the shaft, as well as the 2.5-inch nuts that position the knife spindle. Next, using the 15/16 wrench and an 1.5-inch wrench on the outside nut, you will turn the nut, which is a left-hand thread, so it goes in a clockwise direction, to remove the nut. Then you'll remove the flange, and using gloves you'll remove the blade. Next, to remove the back flange. Now, using a screwdriver, you'll remove the sheet metal covers to expose the chain drive system. There's a cover on the front and a cover on the back. Start by removing the back 2 screws on the top, then removing the rest of the screws on the front guard, continuing with the back guard. Once you remove the guards, you'll see the chain drive assembly exposed. First, you'll loosen the set screw in the top drive sprocket. This allows the sprocket to be slid over. You should rotate the machine around so that the connecting link is at the top of the sprocket. Using needle nose pliers, remove the clip and the link. Remember, there are 2 small parts to the link that are in the middle of the chain. Then you remove the rest of the link and take the chain off. Now you can slide the sprocket over using needle nose pliers to remove the key. Using a soft hammer, or if required, or just slide the key out. Now you have the sprocket, the rest of the assembly removed. Next, we will remove the bearings. Going from the knife side, because it gives you a better angle at it, you can tap through to knock out the bearings. Coming from the other side, do not worry about pressure or breaking the bearing, because we're replacing it. Now we're ready to reinstall the bearings and a new spindle. Install the bearing by lightly tapping around the outside edge so that it will go in evenly. slide the new spindle through the bearings, through the sprocket, and then the next bearing. Insert the key. Now we'll put the knife flanges and the nut without the blade hand tight, remembering that it is a left hand thread. Holding against the side with your hand on the flange end, bring up the knife nut, the locking adjusting nut on the end, and the second one. Now what we've done here is we have held against one side and held against the other side so that there's no play by hand, and now we're snugging the nuts up. Next will be the reinstallation of the chain. So bring it up so that the top of the link is on the sprocket and install your connecting link. We find the easiest way to put the snap ring on is to hold it from an open end with needle nose pliers, clip it on one, rotate it over, then using the needle nose squeeze it to clip on. Align the chain straight and tighten the set screw. You're now ready to reinstall the sheet metal guards. Installing the back guard first, leaving the top screw out because the front guard will be going through the same hole. Once you get the knife cover installed, we're now ready to install the blade. Using a wrench on the outside, loosen the 15/16 nut, left hand thread, remove one of the flanges, and as you can see, the end of the shaft is flush with the inside race of the bearing, so there's no lateral movement. Load the knife with the bevel towards the grinder wheel. Install the flange and the nut left hand thread so it's going counterclockwise as you put it on by hand until it's snug. Then using a 15/16 wrench and an 1.5-inch wrench on the inside nut, just snug it up. It does not have to be over tightened. Now you're ready to sharpen the blade after you put the cap on the back of the spindle. The blade, when it comes from the factory, has about a 3/4 inch to 5/8 of an inch original bevel. The outside edge should be ground at about a 1/16 of an inch back. Going any further will make the edge of the blade too thin and reduce the life.